Today's episode is sponsored by Dan Diamond Equipment, a used fork truck dealing company located in Hastings, Michigan. They sell and rent fork trucks and die handlers. With over 30 years of experience, don't hesitate to call Dan Diamond Equipment for all of your fork truck needs. Reach out to Dan at 269-948-3377. Again, the number for Dan Diamond Equipment, 269-948-3377.
What are we? What makes us what we are? And what we're going to be? I think it's that right there. It's grit. It's grit. It's grit.
Lions, Lions, Lions. I'm going to start the pod off a little different today, boys. And we're going to go around the circle here, just kind of vent a little bit. It's Monday, 2 days following the game. And for all the diehard fans that are still listening to the podcast, this is going to be more of an original podcast. We're going to go deep diving into some feels. And what I mean by that is, as your humble host, Caleb, I am joined alongside the whole crew and nothing but the crew. We got Adrian, the OC. We got Ivan, the water boy, Plax, and Clay, the stat guy. But we decided we're going to go on just a little bit of a rant this pod. And we're going to start it off right here, right now. The Detroit Lions got us all hype as a 15-2 regular season record. Guys, we won 2 playoff games last year and went out to San Francisco for the NFC Championship game. Mm-hmm. And we all sat there with a 15-2 record saying that's not even that's like, not
this
the
team
end
is
goal.
Better. Yeah.
That's not the end goal. We need the Super Bowl to be there and then try to win that. Well, that was Super Bowl. Boys, the Detroit Lions were not prepared on Saturday night for the Washington Commanders. You allowed a rookie quarterback to come into your stadium with 65,000 plus and make you look like the Chicago Bears. Jared Goff, I'm going to talk to you for a minute. You have the smallest hands in the league. You drop balls like Clay drops almonds because he deals with them all day. Okay? You threw 3 horrendous interceptions. This was the biggest game of the year for you, Jared Goff. I don't know what happened. I don't know if you had a fight with the wife early that morning, but you didn't show up. Showed up. You have showed up all year long. And on the most important game, you just don't want to show up. Now, yes, he got hit. He got rattled. Well, guess what, boys? This is the NFL. That's one hit that dude's taken in the past 2 months. 3 months. Remember Stafford? He got hit. What'd he do? He said, get off me. Actually, he said, get the off of me. I'm coming back in, and I want to throw the game-winning touchdown.
Yeah.
So don't talk to me about, he had a concussion. He was injured. No. The dude didn't show up. Ben Johnson, you're next on the list. I got something for you, Ben Johnson. Pull your head out of your and call a play that does not include Jameson Williams, your second-string wide receiver, going on a reverse option throw to a dude that's triple covered, and you don't have the coaching to tell him to throw the ball out of bounds if he's covered. Or maybe you did, but you still trusted Jamison Williams in a playoff game to throw a football. Now, who's my stat guy? Clay? Who's got a better percentage, Jamison Williams or Jared Goff, when it comes to, I don't know, throwing a football?
Man, I would say I think I
What's
have to
the
go
stats
with
on that?
Golf on this one. I think I have to go with Golf on this one.
Yeah, I think he's 0% versus a guy that's been over 75% for the year.
Like, even if you want to call that play, like maybe have St. Brown be, what was it, the X or Y?
Anybody
that
who
was
can
on that
throw.
play.
You got
I'd rather
Demo who can
trust
throw. You
him.
got St. Brown.
Yeah.
I'd rather trust Penei Sewell to throw a football.
Well, just
And
because
the-
they can make the
and with
decision
that-
if he's not there. Like, J-Mo has got some ego in him where, like, he wanted to throw it because he had the opportunity to throw it.
Early in the season, Sewell
Yeah.
had the ball to throw it, and Sewell said no. I'm
Exactly.
going out of the bounds.
Exactly.
And J-Mo didn't.
Boys, I'm gonna let you have your time. But I'm still not done with Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson just signed a contract with the Chicago Bears. We got breaking news.
Judas
Iscariot has just signed a contract with the Chicago Bears. His mind was not in the game.
Brutus.
For him to call so many, and you boys are going to cover all of his calls. I just have that one on JMO. For him to call that in the playoff game when you are down, I believe at that time it was a one-score game. We climbed
14.
back.
Were we down?
No.
14?
We climbed back.
It was 2 possessions, I think.
All right. Someone pull up the stat when he did it. I don't know who's going to do it, but somebody pull it up. But I swear it was when we were already double dipping on the turnover. Anyway, he calls that. Aaron Glenn, where are you at? Let's go to the defense. This is a man that was just praised last week or against the Vikings for having, oh my God, he's going to be a head coach. He's got the best defense in the. You couldn't stop a nosebleed. Even if I gave you some, what's that stuff you put on a paper towel to stop your nosebleed? A little gel. What, Adrian? What's the stat say?
Well, yeah, when J-Mo threw the interception, the score was Washington 38, Detroit 28. So we were down by 10.
Down 10. My bad, fellas. But still, you play right there, you make it a one-possession game, right? You do.
Yep.
So, Aaron Glenn, you know what? Best of luck to you wherever you go. It would not surprise me if our defense statistically was better next year. In fact, bold take of the year, boys. It will be better. You want to know why? Because half of our defense is not going to be injured and dead. So we will have a better defense next year by Aaron Glenn. And honestly, we're not going to be a better offense. But I don't care. If you're going to call plays so stupid in a playoff game, I'd rather have a worse record and get in as a wild card like the Commanders did and come into Detroit and do this. Oh, you still up, Dan Campbell? Get some more. There's Aaron Glenn. There's Ben Johnson. That's what Washington just walked into Ford Field and did.
Yeah, man.
So to end my spiel here, boys, I was not as mad when the game finished as I am right now. I was going through my 5 stages of grief, and I was sad. I was disappointed. I was never angry. But now when I get the news that when I get the news that Aaron Glenn Ben Johnson just is signing with the Chicago Bears right now. Oh, baby, that just turned me back on level 10. Because you don't only go to our enemy, but you knew all along. You knew all along to sign on Monday after a Saturday game. You knew all along. You were
knew the whole week.
What you got, Adrian? Welcome to the show.
Thanks, Caleb. I think for all Lions fans, if you're listening to this, I think we're going through like another another stage, just like Caleb just said. Like, we processed the game, we were angry, went through grief, and it's like this pod was going to be like a sad one. We talked about it this morning, like, all right, let's look up. But when we all got that news that Ben Johnson's going to, of all places, of all openings, the Chicago Bears, that made us pretty angry, because that tells us that he put effort last week interviewing and preparing, getting his coaching staff ready of who he's going to bring, instead of focusing on the biggest game in Lions franchise history. Was it, I don't know, was it cocky of him to do that, of not putting enough time to this team? I don't know. Like, I know it's completely not Ben Johnson's fault that we dropped that dud, but I do feel like if I was a head coach moving forward, I would have a team rule that if we ever have the fortunate chance of having another bye week, no interviews, because you need to focus on what's in front of you right now. No interviews, no looking outside, focus on the inside. Your game plan and your scheme and winning, that is your interview. That is how you get a job, winning playoff games. Just losing like that, man, I don't know. For some people, Ben Johnson's going to be on the same list as Matt Patricia, because he had such an amazing team this year. We knew what he was capable of the entire season, and just lays a dud on Saturday. Granted, the offense scored 31 points, but it doesn't feel that way. It doesn't feel that way because they had 5 turnovers, and there was just bad play calls at the wrong time. For me, I was really confident going into the game, but when we go 3-and-out, and Amik Robertson, poor guy, breaks his arm on like the second play, I looked at Plax and I'm like, dude, this is not our day. This is going to be a rough one.
And Jack Campbell coming in and self-inflicting.
I know. And Ivan sent me a stat later. It was just like we had 3 or 4 self-inflicting injuries this year. The way that we were playing, Hutch is one, Amik. And anyways, it was rough, but it was a freak year with injuries. But this hurts, and this makes a lot of people angry that of all places Ben Johnson chooses the Bears. So now we're gonna play him twice a year, and that game's gonna mean something now. Like this year, I went to the Chicago game. I was feeling good. Like, man, this is gravy. This game is just gravy. But moving forward, for all Lions fans, that Chicago game means something different. So, I don't know, man.
I personally think every single game against every division rival is going to mean more, because like what we experienced with the Vikings, of course, still with the Packers, them hating us, no, but especially with the Bears, it's more meaningful.
Yeah, but I mean, there is some like mainstream media and other people that are like, this was the Lions window. It's done. It's over. SOL is back. That's so far from the truth. I'm going to go to my positive spin now and everything, because Brad Holmes is the greatest asset, the greatest weapon this organization has. Year after year, he has always pumped in talent from the draft, have gotten good contracts from free agency. So without a doubt, I know that he's going to do a great job this offseason. And plus, we'll have all the people from injuries come back, those that can. But our schedule is a tough one next year. If you guys take a look at that schedule, that is a rough schedule. And everybody's coming after us. So do I think we're going to win the NFC North next year? Probably not. Do I think we're the best team in the NFC North? Yes. But that record is going to be tough because we're playing AFC and all these AFC North winners and all these other division winners, where the rest of the division, they're playing second place or other teams. So they have an easier schedule. But we're definitely a playoff team that next year is going to look different with new coordinators, both on offense and defense. I'm still looking forward to watching this team. But, yeah, we're angry over what happened and how some of these coordinators were thinking ahead instead of looking at what they had in front of them. And it just sucks that they threw away such a beautiful season with some great talent on it. That's my spiel. Plax, you want to tap in?
Was it my turn to share?
We'll go around the circle.
Just like Caleb said, like it was a rough one to watch. Saturday night, Sunday, I think I was still confused. I thought I had reached acceptance, but I hadn't. Took a 7-hour nap Sunday afternoon, ruined my whole weekend. And the more I thought about this podcast and everything today, the more pissed I got at just the culmination of everything. And I'm like, okay, is this a waste of a season? Did I not have one of the funnest times of my life watching Lions football this year? Yes.
Yes.
Was it glorious? Yes. I mean, this is only the third time this year we have to talk about a loss.
True.
But with that being said, are you freaking kidding me? Like, I swear, like, I had probably the most confidence going into this game than I have all year, which makes me uncomfortable because I'm usually like, I expect the worst at all times. But the one thing I was telling Adrian before the game, like, we were worried about, oh, they're going to be focused. I'm like, Dan Campbell, this is not something we have to worry about. Yeah. We don't have to worry about a team not being locked in and focused. And what did we see on the field? Basically from start to finish, a team that just did not look prepared. They didn't look like they were they didn't look like they were focused.
Nope.
You know, we could talk about Goff throwing huge turd sandwiches all over the freaking field. Not even close to interceptions. Mm-hmm. We could talk about Ben Johnson's putting the ball in Jameson Williams' hands. I hate to beat a dead horse. I'm probably the most important drive of the game. Yep. Clearly, we come out of the second half lucky to only be down 10. And we get a 3-and-out. We force them to punt for the first time. Boom. Goal number 1 accomplished. It's time to go. At any point, would you expect Jameson Williams to have the wherewithal to do anything but throw the ball? Yeah. Under no, when that play is called, you know 100% he's throwing the ball no matter what the situation is.
It's
and
like
as soon as he got it,
yeah,
and they roll it to the short side of the field, and as soon as he got the ball and looked, me and Adrian are like, no. And that was the game sealer. And we could blame it on a whole host of things, you know, all those things. But Aaron Glenn, the defense sucked so much. Where's the beep? So much freaking monkey nuts, Johnny Almond nuts, whatever you want to say. It was worse. It was worse than the Buffalo game. To me, honestly, I had zero confidence we could stop them. And like Washington, hats off to them. They came out ready to go. Yeah. Daniels, straight beast. He had some insane passes. That dude is a beast. But you spend the whole freaking week interviewing for other jobs. Everybody's on vacation. They deserve it. Long season. But it's like, it just was like a huge dump on the face of Detroit with that performance. It wasn't like they came out and lost to a better team. And I'm not going to say Washington's not a better team. I mean, they were great, and they've, you know, they got 12 wins, but in every one of their freaking games, it's a one-score game. They get opportune turnovers. You can't turn the ball over. That's the difference in the game. 4 turnovers.
And a pick 6.
I don't even know what else to say, but it was so disappointing after such a magical year. And we knew the injuries would catch up to us, but I don't think injuries had anything to do with what we saw Saturday night.
See, that's a good point, because everyone on the message boards want to say, oh, even Lions fans, all the injuries finally caught up with us. They finally caught up with us. There's some truth to that, but correct me if I'm wrong, our defense just stopped the number 2 offense in the league 2 weeks ago into the Vikings.
Yeah, the defense didn't throw 5 turnovers.
Exactly, bro. So
The blitz was not working.
thank you.
The whole
They
game.
were telling us
And
that at halftime.
it's like, I get it. You have an identity. You don't want to go away from who you are. It's not working. The blitz caused zero pressure. We got cooked
They were
every
ready
freaking
for it.
time. There was the
They were
bunch
ready every time.
on the bunch
Yep.
defense. There's a crosser underneath every single time. And we hear a lot about quarterbacks seeing ghosts. I think the defense seen ghosts. They had no clue where the ball was going out of that bunch, that trip set. And I don't know if that's what they've been running all year, but it was like appalling to watch how unprepared we were.
Bro, I said it on this podcast several times that 3-bunch set has been killing us all year. And that's what Washington did. And we had no answers for it. It's like, that's your weakness on defense. Do something about it. They made no changes, no adjustments.
In fact,
I looked at class at halftime. I'm like,
blitzed
dude,
off of it.
they'll make adjustments. They'll make adjustments. Like, it's obvious it's not working. And they didn't. It was insane that they just kept trying it that way.
Not only did they do that, but they purposely said, okay, we see your trips. We're going to blitz. We're going to pull Branch off of that trip and then come in and blitz you, which leaves 2 blockers on 2 defenders. And then,
It was a home run.
Scary Terry takes off. So, Clay, you're going to have your time to shine. What's your thoughts, man?
Well, you guys covered a lot. So, but 4th and 2, biggest play of the season, and you have too many people on the field, and you don't even call a timeout. Like, how don't you? At the timeout don't matter at that point in the game. Like, it's not even they're gonna get
right.
No,
You're
you're
not
you're gonna get a first down every time. Your timeouts are meaningless.
Yeah.
Not saying that they don't pick it up. They 99% probably chance they do. But dude, to just give them a free first down on 4th and 2, the biggest defensive play of the season.
Yeah.
And you don't call a timeout.
I have a question on that, Clay. I was always told that the head coach is the only person on the sideline that can call a timeout. Maybe people on the field can take a timeout, but on the sidelines, it's the head coach, right? So basically,
Caleb froze, but I think we know where he was going.
Yeah. So what I would do if Ben Johnson is not dreaming about his new house in Chicago, he could tell his coach, "Hey, call a timeout. There's too many people out there."
Yeah.
If you look at the replay, the entire sideline was going,
Yes.
get off, timeout. And Aaron Glenn's like,
Yes, bro. I was just gonna say that, bro.
He was
Kelvin Shepard
completely
was
not-
screaming
did
He
his
not-
head
saw
off.
better when he had rain on his glasses than he saw at that moment in time.
you're right. He did not have a clue. And there's 7 other coaches on the sideline saying get off the field. And there's 2 seconds on the play clock.
Oh my gosh,
so
bro. Yeah, he was
I know I
just
broke
standing-
up. I know I broke up, but that was my question. Like, the head coach is the only coach that can call a timeout. Aaron Glenn can't, and Ben Johnson can't. It's illegal. Spagnuolo tried that this year, ran down the sidelines, and the Chiefs got a timeout, but the referees were saying, "Oh no, we shouldn't have given," or the announcers were saying, "No, you cannot give a defensive coordinator a timeout. Like it's only their head coach." So even if Aaron Glenn saw it, he couldn't have done anything. Kelvin Shepard saw it, he couldn't do anything. It would have had to have been coming from Dan Campbell or somebody on the field, and no one on the field knew.
Yeah. They were unprepared, man. They were unprepared.
Yep.
In their own house with no noise.
I've been trying to, again, going back to JMO, to try to defend him all year. You know, the mistake he's made. But dude, like, I don't understand why you throw that football. I don't know. I mean, arrogance. Like, you think you're that good that you can throw a clean pass, but I'm just saying this without any contracts. I don't know what the contracts. I don't know the money, but dude, if Tyreek Hill wants out of Miami, dude, let's get a deal done. Let's trade him.
I just don't even think we can blame J-Mo for that. He should not. He was put in an unwinnable.
I know, unwinnable situation.
I get it.
Still,
it's stupid, but it's like, bro. But it's like, just having him. It's like putting your freaking little kid in the driver's seat. He's never been behind a the wheel of the car and say, "Hey, back out of the driveway for me," and hope everything goes all right. Couldn't have been in that situation, but
oh yeah. So I talked about the biggest defensive play of the game was a 4-2, but the biggest offensive play of the game, 3rd and 1. You're up 7-3.
That's the one.
All you have to do is run the football, and you go up 14-3, and it changes the entire game.
I was so confident we are going to make that.
And you're running down the football field in like 30 seconds, man. Gibbs is killing it. And I get it. Like, just run it, man. Just run it. 3rd and 1.
First down every time that kid touched the ball. Literally.
Right. So just
first down.
If they score there, dude,
What
survive.
happened?
I don't know how different the game is, but you survive. I think you
What's
survive.
that?
I said I don't know how different the entire game would be, but you survive that game if you're up 14-3.
Yep.
What
play your
happened
game
on that 3rd and 1? What happened on that 3rd and 1?
I think St. Brown fell, but still, just run it, man.
So they asked Dan Campbell like 2 hours ago on the press conference why they threw it on that 3rd and 1. The same thing we saw, the press asked him. And he said that on that play, Bobby Wagner lined up on St. Brown, and they were going to take that matchup any day. And they've done it 50 times the whole season. When they have the linebacker line up on St. Brown, they kill the run and go empty set, throw it to St. Brown. And unfortunately, Dan Campbell said it was just the perfect storm. You know, Glasgow got beat. Yeah, they pushed him up the pocket, and with that, Goff slipped on the ball. He fumbles, plays dead. And for me, that was the game churning.
Mm-hmm.
Gibbs is also getting 15 yards a touch.
Right. And
Gibbs
really, let's give up to the one man that did show up, and that was Gibbs, man. What a god. Like, all the people who wanted to bash that pick, you guys are all wrong. Like, that was the dude is incredible. Like,
bro was on something, man.
So that's
I still thinks he gets 2,000 yards if he doesn't split with Montgomery. Not saying I want him to not split, but the dude is up there. He doesn't get the respect because he splits 50-50. But yeah, I think 3rd and 1, you're up 14-3. And again, with it, not blaming injuries at all, but as soon as you look down and you see that the man is literally hunched over just like Anzalone was, the exact same position, you're like, yeah, well, it just, and not blaming injuries, but it just takes the wind out of your sails. Like, the team is like, the fans, everybody's like, here we go again. Just another every single game.
I got a question. Let me blow up my screen here. I got to see all your faces nice and clear. Was there any one of us at that game on Saturday night?
That was the silver lining. Plax and I were so close and actually going with the wives, spending like $3,000 total that weekend. I was like, nah, let's be responsible.
I was so willing, dude. It was in the cart.
Ooh.
I was so willing to ruin my next month's finances to go to this game. And thank you, God. Thank you, Adrian. Sound of reason. We didn't go, and we didn't have a 2-hour drive back from Detroit at 3 a.m. We probably wouldn't have made it home.
Fools, bro. Like fools. I feel so bad for the people that paid top money for that game, dude. I know so many people that were there.
Clay.
I plead the fifth.
Clay, Ivan, were you guys there at the game?
No.
Ivan was not, no.
I was there.
So
I knew it.
How,
that's what you get, Clay. You deserve
what
this
was
one.
the feeling, Clay?
Oh, dang.
All year, telling lies, not telling nobody. You're at every.
I wasn't a lie. I just didn't tell nobody.
You gotta tell the podcast.
You earned. You know what? I know why we lost. It's Clay.
Yeah.
Clay Boley, the stat guy.
Section 300. There
you got greedy. You went to every big game of the season.
Well, if you're looking at it, you don't lose that game. But when Robinson went down, you're like, I'll go to get a bud.
At one point, do you feel like the breath in the stadium left? Like everybody.
agree for sure. It never got loud after that. Like they was so hyped before it, but
Yep.
As soon as
They
that
broke it
injury
down.
happened, like it got loud again, but it was just like
It wasn't the same.
it was like the air just evaporated, got dead silent. Everybody was just sitting there, like everybody's on
Did
their
they
phones.
show-
Everybody's trying to text home. How bad is it?
Yeah.
And everybody's like, yeah, his elbow's hanging from his.
Mm-hmm. It was
Socket.
nasty, bro. I was wondering if they showed it on the jumbotron inside the stadium because it was gross.
They didn't even show it. They only showed him like just laying there, and you're just like,
I was like,
I-
hey,
I-
is his
I knew it was
shoulder
as
in
soon
his
as-
forearm? Like, how is it, like he had sleeves on, but there was
but
like
then when they took him off, like his like one guy was holding this arm and another guy was holding this arm. So I'm like, did he break both of them? Like,
Yeah, I felt like it was just like a clean break.
yeah,
Like when you
and then
lay on the ground.
it was just like the Enzalone, so everybody's googling like,
Yeah.
oh, is he coming back? Like he's questionable. I'm like, Enzalone was questionable for 3/4 too. So
Yeah. That's
but
tough. Man.
Yeah, so if you're ever wondering why Clay is radio silent on our text chat, boys, it's
Hey, I was
because more than
texting. I was
likely-
texting.
he's always
I
at
was
the game.
laughing at everything Caleb was saying. I was like, what was crazy is I saw if he doesn't reply in 5 minutes, he's at the game, and I saw it was like at 3 minutes. I'm like, responding.
All right, boys, watch this. I'm gonna mute Clay, and I'm gonna put him out in the. I'm gonna put him removed from the stage. All right, we removed him for a little bit. He's out in the waiting room. You have a 5-minute penalty, Clay, if you can hear this.
He's in the
'Cause
box.
you did us cold. Oh my god! I asked specifically on last week's segment, can Johnny, what's it called,
Johnny Almonds?
if your boss can get us hooked up with 4 tickets, and you just said, nah, 1 is all I need, Johnny Almond.
Hey, one's cool.
Yeah, 1. Do
Just
you want 4,
fair for
Clay?
me.
No, 1's good, bro. I'll just go with you.
Bro,
That way
looking
we can
back,
save
even
on
if that game
almonds.
was free, I do not want to be there for that. I don't.
We'll bring him back in. Welcome back to the podcast, Clay.
All right, you're unshunned. You're forgiven.
But and I just don't talk about it. So he's private, so I just keep it down. That's all.
Well, he's out on the All Grit podcast now, so he's
Full
out.
disclosure: if me and Adrian were going, I fully intended to not tell anybody.
See, that's what I mean. I don't want to like Flax
Bro,
blame
it would've been
me. I did not
hilarious.
want to be blamed on Saturday night. I was like, nope. I'm just
It would have been
gonna.
hilarious if Plax and I ran into Clay inside the stadium. We
Dude,
would
I
just
would
look
have
at each
beat
other, but then just walk away.
I would
It'd be like Spider-Man.
beat his bleep bud. We would have jumped. We'd have jumped him.
This is what it would have sounded like. What's up, Clay?
Oh man,
Just a 2-piece quick down.
what a season, bro! But the game was wild. Like it was back and forth the first half on crazy, amazing. That Laporta catch was like the best catch of the year, I thought.
Yeah, bro. So let's get into it.
amazing.
Let's get into the couple of good things. So we do have bold takes to do, and we could do a game ball and then a fumble ball just to keep the
Alright.
tradition going. Because I think we got for it. What'd you say, Ivan?
Yeah, well, I just want to acknowledge more about just like the coaching decisions. You guys covered everything correctly, but I wanted to bring up how this game reminds me of the Buccaneers early in the year, but also last year's San Francisco game. Moreover, with like coaching decisions and also just like not being aware of when to use or to like fully use what's working. There's always steering away. What I've noticed is that, and I'll bring it up. I already have it up in the stats too. Let me just connect it real quick.
Share screen.
Share my screen. So
Follow us
what?
on YouTube so you can watch Ivan.
So what annoyed me is that, can we all agree that Jahmyr Gibbs was our best player these last couple of games? When Montgomery, when
Last
Montgomery,
5 games, yes.
when Montgomery left, you can notice the difference when he got the ball more, there was more yards gained, just overall more scoring, and he was scoring more touchdowns, and he broke the record this year with the most touchdowns, scrimmage wise, and
One game. Yeah.
that's what really annoys me is that like why can you not stick with what's working? like it was great to have Montgomery back this game, but you did notice he was healthy enough to be in the game, but he wasn't as as good as he was.
He lost his spring. Yep. He
Yes.
lost his pep in his
So let me
step.
sure. Okay, can you see my screen?
All right, let me add it.
Can you see
There
it?
we go. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So here's my mouse. So this is Jameer in 14 carries. Jameer gets 14 carries for 105 yards. He was averaging 7.5, 2 touchdowns. David Montgomery only 7 carries for 28 yards, averaging 4 yards.
Yeah.
So I've always said this before. A couple podcasts before. The best way to utilize these two guys is David. David is the best person to when you're in the red zone. He's the hit stick. You're gonna get in there, no matter what. Jahmyr Gibbs, I feel like he covers the field better because he's shifty. He uses that speed. So with these last 5 games, we noticed that like he was the best player out of everybody. Better than Jameson, better than Amon-Ra St. Brown. You can really rely on him. I don't remember him fumbling the ball these last couple games. He was totally on fire. Also, one thing I do remember, I saw this earlier, but when we have more attempts in passing than our running, we tend to lose the game. The last time that happened was when we faced the Buccaneers. Also, during that San Francisco game, we have done more attempts to throw the ball, to run it, and to stick what was working.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's what frustrated me is when I remember talking about this with you guys in the chat when the game was happening. Like, you have to feed 26, but also with Jameson when he made that run, as you can see, like 1 carry for 61 yards. Like, that was crazy.
Yeah.
Seeing that happen live. So like, that's what frustrates me so much seeing. Like,
especially against a defense that was so bad at stopping the run
Yes.
all year.
Yes,
And that run did brought life back in the stadium, but then after you just couldn't get a stop, so nobody ever you couldn't get a stop.
Yeah. It's really annoying. And like the attempts, 43 attempts, it was close to half how he made and 4 interceptions. And yeah, going back to the 3-and-1 in that first drive or the first or second drive, and the first fumble, that was disappointing. You could just ran the ball really to get that touchdown. What else I was going to say? And also, like, some of the players are at fault as well. I also saw a stat today saying that today's game, Saturday's game, we had the most missed tackles on defense. This game alone compared to the whole season.
I saw that often.
Yeah. That was curse of the bye week, man. They were not prepared. They were rusty. It was obvious. I mean, you don't need a stat to show you. They had so many missed tackles. It was frustrating.
When Montgomery got laid out like that dude in that movie Friday, like I was like, ugh. That dude got laid out, and I'm like,
yeah. So, kind of like looking forward now. If Ben Johnson's, if he's in the Bears and still is the same way, like it's kind of good in hindsight for us. So we know what to expect. If he can't make these smart decisions with us, like he won't be doing that same thing with the Bears.
Yeah, it's almost like Ben Johnson lets the big game, lets the nerves get to him, and then he starts to, instead of going with analytics, he's trying to outsmart analytics. Yeah. And we've talked about this throughout. I don't know if it was this year because we started the pod this year, but I remember saying in some of those games, like, just go with what's working, man. The Tampa Bay game. Well, no, we're behind, so we're going to start throwing. No.
Yeah.
You have the best offense in the league. You got holes that Jameer could drive a bus through. Like, let's go. Run the ball. And hopefully our offensive coordinator moving forward, whether it be Scotty Montgomery or, somebody from within but it's like, hopefully that, yes, we like the trick plays and we like all that stuff, but you also got to take analytics into it. 3rd and 1, run the ball with a guy that's getting 7 yards a pop.
He overcomplicated it.
Exactly. You're overcomplicating it.
And I don't know if it's ego or he's just really into his head. Like, if you think about it, it's almost like Patricia-like, but not like him as a human, but, has that same mentality, like he's going to, in that same way.
Like, I wish we would have been just like we played the Rams in overtime, that drive where we just ran it and ran it and ran it. they couldn't stop it. So stop it. You know what we're gonna do? Stop it. Like, I wish we would have done that Saturday. Like, I don't care about the trick plays. You know we're gonna run it, but we're gonna run it.
Get to the line and just play Lions football. That's all you had to do. That's what they did against Minnesota.
Yep.
And but another thing I want to say too is this: the bad fans, man. Like leave and be gone for good. Like these people who are making videos, these AI things on Jared Goff. Like, dude, like,
what are they doing? I missed it. I have been off social media for the whole day yesterday.
They're just like re saying what Jared Goff says, just saying how bad he played, but also with that is what I was going to say is
it's because he played like,
yeah, there you go. But I forgot what else, but this is like these people who say they hate Jared Goff. They're the same ones who are getting Jared Goff chants going at Red Wings games, at Tigers games. And then they're just immediately off the bandwagon after.
Yep.
Not saying that he's the, and along with that is I give all respect to Sewell. Sewell defended his coach. I think a lot of people know what to blame is for that game, but he didn't say nothing. But he defended his coach, and Dan Campbell will always fall on the sword. But
it sucks, guys, but we've got a good team now. We're not at the bottom of the league. I mean, look at the Ravens. Look at what happens to the Ravens. John Harbaugh.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to lose
Hall
like
of
that.
Fame coach. Hall of Fame coach. Lamar Jackson. MVP. Like, just generational talent. And somehow they can't get it. Every year they have not gotten to the Super Bowl. And I'm afraid the Lions might become the Ravens of the NFC. Like, we need that extra push to just get to the final game. But we're not that horrible team that we used to be, at the very least. I'd rather be the position we are now. We still have a window, and Brad Holmes is going to bring more players, that's for sure.
Defensive draft coming up in April, boys.
Yep. And but one more thing too is we're so good on the road. Like, I think they just got, like, do they get distracted by home field? Who knows? But like you said, I'd rather go into LA and play on the road than do that.
No, I'd rather have, home field advantage is better than being on the road, to be honest.
We were undefeated on the road. We were 7-3 at home.
If you have the option to be a number one seed, have a first round bye, you're gonna take it every single time. You have to. We came out flat, ill prepared, didn't play our best game, and
do you guys think
15-2 don't mean nothing in the playoffs? It's a one game season.
Do you guys think they underestimated Washington?
Absolutely,
for sure.
I think the coordinators did.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think they said, we're 15-2, this team's squeaking in, and now they're coming to our barn with 2 weeks of rest? We're not as hungry as them, and that actually spread throughout the locker room.
Mm-hmm. Highly possible. I know that was probably me. To be honest,
I just think they were completely shocked at the ingenuity and scheme and talent of the offense. Yeah. Like, it was an absolute clinic. Like, I hated it was against our Lions, but it was like almost a pleasure to watch. Like, it was an absolute clinic, like surgical in all levels.
When Jaden Daniels threw a 40 to 50-yard bomb and Kirby Joseph's hands are in the dude's face mask, covering his eyes, blindfolding him, and the dude
De'Ami Brown
telepathically catches the ball without his eyes.
One of the best throws of the year.
It was ridiculous. The ball touched his fingertips, and he couldn't even feel the ball, or he couldn't even see the ball. Yeah, all right, boys, we need to turn the page on this. Do we have a turn page drop? All
right.
Turn the page. All right. But before we do turn that page, let's take a quick look at our bold takes, because I'm so excited this week, boys. I made it to the last week of Lions surgery to add my name to that list. Adrian, did you get your W by at least 14 points? Double. All right. Clay, Vanilla Vic with a touchdown.
Oh, he did to their defense. So.
Sonic and Knuckles by Ivan are each going to get 100.
One did. One did.
That was bold. I will say that was. Whew.
It was bold. But hey, if it could have happened, it could happen.
Yep, for sure.
But they avoided it.
All right. And the moment we've all been waiting for. Caleb said JMO 40-yard plus touchdown and a Sam Laporta one-handed miraculous touchdown.
That was solid, bro.
Good.
That was a good call.
All right, so going into, we got Clay with 1, Adrian with 1, Caleb with 1, and Plax is still sitting there with 0.
Are we going to take this into the rest of the playoffs, or are we done?
Yeah, we sure. Let's do it. We'll give him a chance to tie. Hey, if he ties, that means we all have to buy our own beers when we go out. So far, Plax has got 3 beers he's got to buy.
Oh, yeah.
So Ivan got what? Did Ivan get one then? He got a.
Ivan said Sonic and Knuckles 100 each.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
I was thinking he got one
He
early.
hasn't got one.
Maybe just us. Okay.
Yeah.
No,
Gotcha.
he only popped in.
I might have
the
had
other
the
week.
boldest take of the year though.
What would you have?
Remember who was it against? I said Zylstra was gonna have like 2
Oh,
touchdowns
yeah.
and like 85 yards.
I went in. I'm like,
Oh, I could feel it in my loins. I'm like, oh, Zylstra's just ready for a breakout. I don't know if he caught a pass the entire season.
in my loins. You didn't get one the whole.
Oh, I really thought I would pull one out.
Jared
You were feeling
Jared
it.
Goff has more yards than Zylstra this year in receiving. Hey, I don't know, Plax. I think Ivan still was the boldest one early this year. The Dallas game, you guys remember?
Yeah,
that?
the Dallas
He
one was the
close.
boldest.
Like,
Oh
was
yeah,
it-
everybody was
Yeah,
gonna have
I was
400
on
yards
track.
of offense.
I was
The
on track.
entire offense was having 6 touchdowns.
I'm telling you,
I'll give him that
y'all
one.
were,
Actually,
y'all were nervous. I could tell when I was on track. I was like, "Oh, wow, it's on."
You're like, uh-oh.
2 touchdowns for Jameer, 2 touchdowns for Monty, 2 touchdowns for Laporta.
And it happened.
Oh,
Almost.
almost.
Which one? Like, what was the short? Which one didn't happen?
Laporta didn't get 2 touchdowns, but he got 1. Then Monty only got 1 touchdown, but I was
I
on.
give that too. I don't know. I forget.
Hey, I got everybody to get a touchdown. But at
Lions
least-
had to score like 72 points for it all to come true.
And what did it cost us?
They only got 50.
Hutch.
Hey, Adrian, is there a way to pull up the NFL playoff chart right now?
I'll pull it for us. Yeah.
All right. While you're doing that, we'll remind our listeners. We are what day in this month? What's today's date?
We're on the 20th.
We're the 20th. So
Yeah.
we have about 11 more days for the All Grit podcast listeners to get in your raffle for the big draw. We got Johnny Almond nuts coming your way. We got a $25 gift card coming your way. We got personal headshots coming your way. We got some All Grit merch coming your way, and potentially a nice bottle of Chianti. No, nice bottle of bourbon coming your way. So if you are still interested in coming into the raffle, go ahead and go to PayPal. Look up the All Grit Pod. That's All Grit 2 T's Pod. There, you just simply put in your little raffle donation, and we will add your name to the bucket. We do have some in there right now. We want to get some more in before the big draw on January 31st. So there it is. Get them in. All right. Adrian's awesomely pulled this up. If you're on YouTube, take a look. This is going to be our bold takes this week, boys. Lions did not make the NFC Championship. So we have a divisional matchup, a Washington 6 and an Eagles seed 2. And Buffalo Bills from the AFC conference seeded at 2, and Kansas City seeded at 1. So This is going to be a little bold take, and we might even add a little something to it. So, what say you, Adrian? Start us off.
Okay. It might not seem bold, but history to me says it is bold. Is the Bills will finally get to the Super Bowl and overcome their dreaded enemy, the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, they're pretty much everybody's enemy at this point now. Nobody likes them. So I'm saying Bills in the Super Bowl and Washington in the Super Bowl. Woo! They upset their NFC East rival, and we have 2 underdogs in the Super Bowl.
I like it. Ivan, what say you?
I'd say the same. Bills pull the upset, as well as the Washington Commanders. Is it just team picks, or we could do anything else as well?
Let's just do teams for now, and then we'll circle around.
Those two.
Plax?
Who freaking cares? But I don't know. I don't really have a take on this one. I think Buffalo is a better team than Kansas City, but you're playing Kansas City at home with the refs. They would have to just ball out to win. I'll say the freaking Chiefs will be in the Super Bowl, and I think Philly will just not be retarded and a normal defense and beat Washington. Saquon's gonna go crazy and rush. I want Washington in, but Kansas City and the Eagles, I guess.
Dude, I would not watch that Super Bowl.
No,
I'm not gonna watch it already, but I hope Washington wins it all. But we'll see.
If Bills are in it, I'll watch it.
I'm sorry. Every time I hear Plax, I just want to run that bleep button.
And biting my tongue pretty hard.
I'm sorry. What did you say? You said Kansas City and what?
Philly.
All right. Yeah, that would be trash. All right, Clay. Now remember, it does matter, bro. You said who cares, but it does matter because if you win this bold take with that take, you're easily in the finale of the beer contest. So, is that your final answer? Plax?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Clay.
All right.
Final take. You can take a 2-1 lead on all of us here. What you got?
I think something that everybody needs to just realize is Kansas City is going to three-peat this thing because that's what's going to happen. So, Kansas City versus the Eagles. It's the storybook. That's what everybody wants. Everybody wanted Kansas City versus Buffalo because it's their new Brady versus Manning. They got it. So.
Oh man, is there any combination I can go where I don't? Yeah, I can go off. I can go off course.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to say Buffalo because I really want Buffalo to win because I'll have a rooting interest in the Super Bowl. I'd like them as my AFC team.
Yeah.
But boys, the Buffalo Bills can beat 11 players on the field,
But not one.
but they cannot beat the 12th man of the
National
referees.
Football League. Yeah.
Yeah, the refs, man. They gave it to them too.
So they're gonna give that to them again, even though I want Buffalo to win. So I hope I'm wrong. Screw the bold take. I hope I'm wrong, but I'm gonna say Kansas City, and I'm gonna say Washington, and I think I'm the only one on that side that can say that.
You are wearing a Washington hoodie right now.
Commando or whatever they call it. Commando.
But if you look at the logo, that is a Kansas City Washington logo. So for the Super Bowl, so
Is it?
kind of looks like it.
I see a little bit more green in there.
Green and red.
Huh.
Yeah, Eagles and Chiefs. I could see you guys pulling it out. All right. So that's that. All right. What did you want to add to that, Ivan?
I was gonna say probably I could see Josh Allen scoring like 2 to 3 touchdowns on himself, so like running into the ball. Because of hatred, I want to see Patrick Mahomes break a leg or something. Then, yeah, if that happens, I'll be so happy.
I haven't heard that negativity since we had a Jaguar fan on here.
I want to see that happen. Of course, they were like, "Oh no, Patrick McCone's on social media."
All right, so let's heighten this. All right, so there's our bold takes. Now we're gonna do a crazy. Let's see how it is. It's called a crazy take. This is called our cat. All right, let's get our cat take in. Our crazy take. All right, Ivan, what say you for your crazy take, the cat take? You said 600 yards by who?
No. 3 touchdowns by Josh Allen.
Oh my!
And a broken Patrick Mahomes leg.
All right,
Okay.
who's up next?
Okay.
Get your cat take in, Adrian.
Give me Jaden Daniels. 4 touchdowns total.
Running or throwing?
Rushing or throwing on the Philly defense.
I like it. That's bold. That's crazy. Plax, what's your cat?
My cat call would be Jaden Daniels throws for less than 185 yards total.
Whoa.
Completely falls off in the elements, makes us look even worse.
Oh, come on, Plax. I can't stand Philly fans, man.
Hate him too.
So you're saying that's how Jaden Daniels is going to leave Philly?
He beat him before already.
I know. Clay?
I am seeing what Gibbs did against this Washington defense. I think Barkley gets 150 rushing and 100 yards receiving.
Ooh.
Nice pick.
150 rushing, 100 receiving?
Yep.
By Saquon Barkley. All right, so this is open for the whole weekend, right? I can pull from anything.
Yep.
All right.
Not like it matters anymore.
Let's go. Let's go 2 rushing touchdowns by Josh Allen. I'm not done. We're going to go 1 rushing touchdown by Jaden Daniels. We're going to go 1 rushing touchdown by who's quarterback for the Philly?
Hurts.
Hurts.
Man, you got a parlay going.
And we'll do I can't leave Kansas City off the board, so we'll throw in a touchdown, not for Patrick Mahomes, but I'll throw in a touchdown for Worthy.
Okay.
That's crazy.
Say
All right,
that
boys.
again. I want to hear the whole thing again. That's pretty crazy. So what is it?
For everybody?
Yeah. No, for you, just yours. I just want yours got crazy, so I want to hear it again.
Two receiving touchdowns or 2 rushing touchdowns for Josh Allen. 1 touchdown rushing by Jaden Daniels. 1 touchdown rushing by Jalen Hurts. So I got my quarterbacks covered, but I don't trust Patrick Mahomes to get a touchdown, especially with Milano running right at him. So I'm going to go a Worthy touchdown.
I like it.
Yep. Or the pod's gone on for a while when everybody's hats went backwards.
Yep.
It's funny. I kept moving my hat for the defense. Whenever the Lions get on defense, I go backwards, and offense, I go. Doesn't matter.
Like
Doesn't matter. All right, let's give our once and only
our season long, like a season
long
game ball.
No, a game ball.
I like that season long game ball. I like that.
Yeah, you might as well.
I thought that's what you were gonna do.
No,
but no, what are you gonna do, Caleb? We can do both. What are you gonna do, Caleb?
I was just gonna talk about our sponsor a little bit, but let's do this before we close it out.
Okay.
So this is gonna be a Lions all year game ball, and boy, Ben Johnson just took his name right out of the.
Yep. I want those game balls back. I'll give them to other people.
Right? Oh,
Go ahead,
God.
A.
He's the
So the game ball, I'm gonna give it to Dan Campbell himself, man. Like he took this team from what was it, 0-10-1 at one point. We were pulling our hair out to like this is our coach. Like even though we've lost some devastating playoff games, we're in the freaking playoffs. We have not been in these positions that we don't even know how to react to the fact that we lost when we were supposed to win because we had expectations. The reason we've had expectations is because Dan Campbell has given us a winner.
And this is why it hurts so bad. It's because we actually have real hope. Like,
Yep.
it's a different kind of pain when you have real hope and you're not.
It's new for us.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Dan Campbell is definitely our coach. I believe that he's going to get some good coordinators this next year, and he gave us a great, memorable 15-win year that, it was quite the ride. I enjoyed the season. It was a good run. He's my game ball.
Good call, Adrian. Ivan, game ball for the whole entire year.
I'd say Jahmyr Gibbs. When he was his freshman year or rookie year last year, like we knew he had a great player, but I feel like he's become a superstar now. From everything that we see in this last 5 games, it's like gone above and beyond. So and yeah, he broke records again just this year. More than 2,000 yards in scrimmages. Didn't he break Barry Sanders, or I think he tied something with Barry this year?
It's a touchdown record.
Touchdown record. Okay, yeah. There's nobody else has done that. It's just him. So, so whoever is our next coordinator and like should realize when to know how to use these players, so especially our running backs, like when to use them. So, and yeah, Jahmyr is our best weapon now going forward. So we got to definitely use him.
Nice.
He's definitely my game ball.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Good take. Good take. Clay?
Well, the first one I want to just give a quick shout out to. I'll give one to our humble host for being a great host all year. Who really keeps the squad together.
Go Caleb.
I'm glad we did it, boys.
But I want everybody to give something different, so I don't want to copy anybody. But I had Gibbs in mind, but I'll give one to Saint, man. Like Saint has really become, when he got that touchdown against Minnesota, that gave us our first win in Campbell era. I never didn't know what we were going to have. Like I never envisioned he'd be who he is today, who really is the leader of this team. Catches everything, makes the craziest catches, but so man, he's really keeps this offense together, keeps them focused. So after I don't think I'd ever love a wide receiver as much as I watching Kelvin. I don't think a guy would ever step in Detroit and carry that kind of thing on his shoulders, and Saint has really done that. So
yeah, he has.
Great one, bro. Great one. Blacks, what you got for the yearly game ball?
I'll give an honorary game ball to the boys. Who'd have thought a random trip to Lions training camp, 5 deep in a Honda Civic?
It's a Honda Accord, bro.
Oh, sorry. A Honda Accord would turn.
4 awake, 1 asleep.
I mean, there was only 4 people present, but Ivan's body was there. But it turned into this juggernaut that is the All Gritt podcast. It's been a heck of a ride. Loved it. Had my doubts, but it's turned into a real bright spot for me. But I got to go. It would have been Hutch, but if he'd have stayed healthy. But Jahmyr Gibbs, he was just a game changer in so many games, and he was the X factor, and he was the guy that we had and nobody else had, and he really burst onto the scene, and he was a difference maker in a lot of wins. So I'll give it to Jahmyr as well.
Nice. Yeah, I'm hoping big things for him next year, man.
Nice
Still young
Blacks.
guy.
And if I can close it out here, I'm gonna have to agree with Ivan. No, yeah, Ivan and
Blacks.
Clay. Wait, I'm messed up here. Clay said Saint.
Yeah.
Same
Yeah.
thing.
Oh, okay. I switched those up. I put Saint for So Jahmyr Gibbs, dude. I severely think that it's his reigns next year. I think he starts even when they started the game and Monty started on first down. I looked at Cody and I'm like, what are they doing? Why are they doing this? They're like, you needed to dispel Jahmyr with Monty or use Monty in the 5 to 10 yard lane. Like, this is Jahmyr's team now. You know, God love Montgomery. We all love him. But when that dude can break 7 yards a clip and it, believe me, it didn't feel like 7 yards. It felt like 15 yards a clip with what he was doing. I mean, you just never could get him off the field. So I think next year he's going to be the number 1 running back, maybe dispelled with Monty or whoever's coming up, and our rushing attack gets even better next year, which is even hard to imagine. But like Ivan said, we have a superstar in the backfield. We already knew we had one in Saint. We still got to wait on JMO if he can get his head out of his. But sometimes, you know, he throws picks when we're counting on him. So anyway, that's my game ball for the year. He really impressed me this year.
Nice,
on that note, boys, anything else? What do you want to shoot for next week so we can give our fans a little something to look forward to?
Let's do a little Super Bowl. I don't know. Depends on who wins, I guess. A little Super
playoff
Bowl
reaction
yeah.
around the NFL. Yeah, I'm sure some more coaching hires will happen. There's more stuff moving, a lot of moving parts. Like, what if Ben Johnson takes some guys from the team, not just him leaves, but some other other coaches? So,
I'll tell you what happens. The music stops. I mean, he's already going to Chicago. He's going to hear this on a nightly basis.
Fireworks.
White noise to go to sleep to.
Did not do the worst for that guy.
All right, boys. Well, we'll have something for you. We'll try to throw something out on social media to get some interaction with you, the listeners. We did forget. We did get a speak pipe from AG, but we will play that on the next one. In fact, AG, why don't you send us another one, because after the Lions loss, you might have some feelings you want to get out as well. So, for the All Gritt podcast, it's your host. We out.